Have you ever heard of a house that was under construction for 38 years straight, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? A house so strange and sprawling that even its owner needed a map to get around? This isn't a fairy tale. It's the real story of the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California, a landmark of architectural oddity and a beacon for ghost hunters everywhere. Today, we ray unlocking its doors and stepping inside to explore one of America's most fascinating and famously haunted mansions. What drives a person to build a house with doors that open to nowhere and staircases that lead straight to the ceiling? Join me as we uncover the bizarre and tragic story of Sarah Winchester and the house that spirits built. Our story begins not with a haunting, but with a fortune. Sarah Winchester was the heiress to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company, a name synonymous with the gun that won the West. Her husband, William Wirt Winchester, was the company's treasurer. They had a life of unimaginable wealth and privilege, but tragedy struck in 1866 when their infant daughter, Annie, passed away from a childhood illness. Then, in 1881, William succumbed to tuberculosis. Sarah was left a widow, inheriting a staggering fortune, roughly equivalent to $500 million today, and a 50% stake in the Winchester Company. But all the money in the world couldn't fill the void left by her lost family. Consumed by grief and searching for answers, Sarah, according to popular legend, sought the advice of a spiritual medium in Boston. The medium delivered a chilling message. She claimed that the spirits of all the people killed by Winchester rifles were angry and had cursed the Winchester family line. The deaths of her daughter and husband were, the medium said, a direct result of this ghostly vengeance. The spirits were now coming for Sarah herself, but there was a way out, a strange and demanding path to salvation. The medium told Sarah she must move west, towards the setting sun, and start building a home for herself and for the spirits. As long as construction on the house never stopped, her life would be spared. The continuous sound of hammering would confuse the vengeful ghosts and keep them at bay. So, in 1886, Sarah packed her bags and moved to the Santa Clara Valley in California. She purchased a modest 8-room farmhouse, and what started as a simple renovation project soon spiraled into one of the most ambitious and bizarre construction projects in history. For the next 38 years, until her death in 1922, construction on the Winchester House never ceased. Carpenters, craftsmen, and laborers worked in shifts around the clock every single day of the year. The quiet farmhouse grew into a bewildering labyrinth, a sprawling Victorian mansion covering several acres. Sarah acted as her own architect, holding nightly seances in a special room, the Blue Room, where she would supposedly receive building instructions from the spirits. Each morning, she would hand-deliver new, hand-drawn, and often chaotic blueprints to her foreman. The result is a house that defies all architectural logic. Imagine walking through its halls. You might open the door only to find a sheer drop to the garden below, or perhaps you take a staircase that wends its way up, only to end abruptly at the ceiling. There's a cabinet that's only 1 inch deep, skylights built into floors, and doors sized for giants and for children. The house is a maze of twisting hallways, secret passages, and 47 fireplaces, yet few of them are functional. The number 13 is a recurring motif throughout the mansion. There are 13 bathrooms, windows with 13 panes of glass, 13 hooks in the seance room, and even 13 drain holes in the custom-made kitchen sinks. This obsession with the number 13 is believed to be another part of Sarah's plan to appease or confuse the spirits. Let's talk about some of the most famous oddities. There's the switchback staircase, a flight of stairs with 7 flights and 44 steps that only rises about 9 feet. The steps are only 2 inches high, making it an arduous journey. It's thought that Sarah, who suffered from severe arthritis in her later years, had these built for her ease of movement, but their winding, inefficient design is still puzzling. Then there's the famous door to nowhere, a door on the 2nd floor that opens outwards to empty air, a sheer drop to the ground below. Was it a trap for malevolent spirits, or simply a construction oversight that was never corrected? The house grew to an incredible size. At its peak, it had an estimated 500 to 600 rooms. However, the great 1906 San Francisco earthquake caused significant damage. The top 3 floors of the 7-story tower collapsed, trapping Sarah in her bedroom. She had to be rescued by her staff, who used a crowbar to pry the door open. Sarah took this as a sign from the spirits that she had spent too much time and money on the front, more ornate sections of the house. After the earthquake, she had the front 30 rooms boarded up, never to be entered again during her lifetime, and focused construction on the more maze-like parts of the property. So, is the house actually haunted? Over the years, countless visitors, tour guides, and paranormal investigators have reported strange phenomena. People hear disembodied footsteps echoing down empty hallways, doors slamming shut on their own, and doorknobs turning when no one is there. A ghostly figure, often described as a man in workman's overalls, has been seen in the basement, believed to be the spirit of a loyal carpenter. Others claim to have seen the apparition of Sarah Winchester herself, a small figure in a black Victorian dress, gliding through the hall she so meticulously and bizarrely designed. Many visitors report feeling sudden cold spots, an overwhelming sense of sadness, or the eerie feeling of being watched. The Blue Room, where Sarah held her nightly seances, is considered a major hotspot for paranormal activity. When Sarah Winchester passed away in her sleep at the age of 83, all construction on the house immediately stopped. The hammers fell silent for the first time in 38 years. Her will was as peculiar as her home. She left her fortune to her niece and her favorite secretary, but made no mention of the massive, unfinished mansion. Movers who came to clear out the house reportedly took 6 weeks just to remove all the furniture. It was so confusing that they described it as a labyrinth that seemed to change as they worked. Shortly after her death, the house was opened to the public as a tourist attraction. Dubbed the Winchester Mystery House, today, it stands as a California historical landmark, drawing in thousands of curious visitors each year. It's a monument to one woman's immense grief, her incredible wealth, and her all-consuming obsession. Was Sarah Winchester truly haunted by spirits, or was she a brilliant but eccentric architect, a philanthropist who kept hundreds of people employed for decades, or perhaps a woman simply consumed by a deep, personal tragedy? The truth is, we may never know for sure. The Winchester Mystery House remains an enigma, a puzzle box built of wood and nails, holding secrets within its winding corridors and sealed-off rooms. It's a testament to the idea that sometimes the most fascinating structures aren't built with logic, but with emotion, fear, and a story that continues to haunt us to this day. What do you think? Was Sarah a victim of a spiritual curse, or just a woman trying to cope with unbearable loss in her own unique way? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me on this tour of the Winchester Mystery House. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most mysterious places, please hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the strange and unexplained. We'll see you in the next video.